cutie pies. I am Lanikia, and you are watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the bold and the beautiful edition. Today is Tuesday, August the 22nd, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I will rate this Monday and Tuesday episodes. I'll give it a solid 5.5. I'll give them both a solid 5.5. Let's get into it. We pick up where we left off on Friday, which is seeing Liam just tell Hope, like, remember what you went through with Thomas and everything that you've been through and what you've been going through. Like, just remember that and remember he can't be trusted. Because I feel like once you remind yourself of that, you'll move on. Whatever obsession or hold he has on you, you'll be able to move on. And he tells her he wants to help her move on. Now, the way Liam is wording this, touching her hand, making her feel, it's coming across as that he thinks that they have a chance to fight for their marriage. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but if I were Hope, I would feel that way. That you okay? So you, I would have been like, well, what are you trying to say? Because that's how he's coming across, right? So then he ends up leaving her. Now, Brooke was over there at Ridge. I'm not gonna hold you on that. They was talking about their children, Thomas, Hope, Liam, and Hope. Brooke goes over to Hope's house and she tells her, you know, you have a beautiful little family, you, Beth, Liam, and you should fight for that. Seeing you with Liam today, with Beth, that was beautiful. And Hope says it was. And then Hope says, I don't know what's wrong with me. I said, here we go. Here we go. And she said, but at the end of the day, Mom, Liam is he waffles. Is it waffle or waffles? Wait, waffles. He waffles between the two of us. His affection for Steffi and his affection for me. And I don't want to be you. And Brooke said, well, we've all been thinking. Stop using this as an excuse to be okay with that. Stop using it as an excuse for what you have done. You slept with Thomas. Own that, and then you can move forward onto why I did this and how I can repair my marriage from this. And she said, I okay. I maybe I am using it as an excuse, saying this all about Liam. Maybe I am using it as an excuse to justify me sleeping with Thomas. But she's even with that, she still says that at least Liam just wants her, but she just doesn't know who she is. When she looks in the mirror, she doesn't know who she is. And so Brooke is like, well, that's good. You're coming back to yourself, because she's wondering why she did this with Thomas. She doesn't quite understand how she got caught up in it. It was just like she was just everything was moving so fast. And Brooke says, well, you're coming back to yourself now, and hopefully you can get your family in. And Hope is just like, oh yes, I hope it's not too late. I said, girl, what was, because then she tells Brooke, because Brooke says, it's not too late. I know the divorce papers were signed, and Hope lets her know, but they were not turned in. So of course Brooke goes into overdrive about, well, if that's the case, you need to go fight for your family. And so Hope is like, okay. And I'll say, girl, all right, Hope. See, this is why I said you should have just stayed in the corner and worked out your feelings before you went and slept with Thomas or did anything to make him start. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Stop preaching, Nikki. Let's move on. So we move right along and we see Thomas is with Steffi, and she's trying to figure out what's going on with you and Hope. And he just tells her we're he's not spilling the beans on they've slept together. He just lets her know, he wants the best for Hope. And she said, well, what if she goes back to Liam? And he says, he really doesn't think she's going to do that, but even if she did, he wants the best for Hope, even if it's not him. And she's like, okay then. He was like, yeah, so it's if she goes back to Liam, he would be okay with that, because at least he would know she's happy. That would be her choice. She made it and she's happy with it, and that's that on that. And she's like, okay, well, okay. So then we see that once all of that happens, um, he ends up leaving and going to Forrester Creations, where Ridge wants to know what's going on with you and Hope. And don't lie to me, I already know you and slept with the girl. And so he was about to tell him, and RJ comes in. And Ridge said, "Well, okay, well, I'm not gonna ask you all this in front of RJ." And RJ said he really want to stay out of it, but he does want to let Thomas know that. I said, RJ, that is not staying out of it. But anyways, he does want to let Thomas know that seeing Hope and Liam together with Beth was beautiful, and he wants his sister to be happy. And Thomas lets him know that that's the exact same thing that he wants. Sorry, I had to get Mila something to drink. That's the exact same thing that he wants for Hope as well. And he just wants her to be happy at the end of the day. And whatever choice she makes, that's it. He'll live with it. But he doesn't want to cause her any harm. And they're cool with that. So then Thomas leaves, and it's just did I skip? Oh, I'm gonna have to go back to them. So Thomas leaves, and it's just RJ and Ridge, and RJ says, "I hope I'm not coming off, like butting in." And then he gives Ridge a cupcake. But Brooke comes in. They both tell him you not need to work out, but Brooke tells them there's a hope that the marriage between Liam and Hope is not over. So then we see that Liam had went over to Steffi's after he got done talking to Hope, and I said, "Oh my gosh, you stay over here." But he went over there, and he's telling Steffi that he feels like he got through to Hope, that he feels like he finally got her to see it from his point of view and see how dangerous Thomas is. And what I gather from this conversation, Liam don't really want Hope back. He just doesn't want her to be with Thomas. That's what I gather. Um, because Hope is like, Thomas has changed and I've changed too, so maybe she's changed into a woman that could be with him. That's what I gather from what she was thinking at first. Now, just because she's like going back and forth between her feelings, so now she's wavering on her feelings for Thomas and Liam. But at the end of the day, she, because of Beth, that's the reason why I feel like if she doesn't get with Thomas, that would be the reason. But anyways, so Liam and Steffi are talking, and they're just she's telling him about, like, okay, so you say you got through to her. He was like, yeah, it was like a light bulb went off, and and she says, okay, so what does that mean? And he was like, what do you mean? She says, listen, what Finn and I are going through, I don't want anybody else to go through that. So what does that mean? How do you feel about Hope? And he pretty much said, yeah, like, I'll help her, like, and I'll always try to make her see the light when it comes to Thomas, but that doesn't mean I want to be with her. That's what I heard. Y'all can tell me if y'all heard something different, but that's what I was getting from that yeah, I'm like, it was one of those things like, well, if she was with anybody else, I probably would just leave it alone. But since it's Thomas, I'll never want her to be with Thomas. So I'm always going to interfere with her relationship and always tell her, no, you shouldn't be with Thomas. So you don't want to be with her, but you don't want her to be with Thomas. I'm not hearing where Liam is saying he wants to be with Hope. Y'all tell me if that's what y'all are hearing, because I might be I might be watching this wrong. It is entertainment, and we all have different views on it, but y'all tell me. So anyways, um then we see Hope goes over to Thomas's place, right? And he says, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna see you. Now, did y'all hear the part where Thomas said, we spent these nights? He put an S on that. I said, nights? I thought y'all was only together one time, but maybe that one time was ended up being 2 days. Is that what it was? I don't know, y'all, but he said nights together. And I said, uh-oh. But anyways, he tells her, we spent those time together. And that's another thing. Brooke did remind Hope that nobody knows but me and Ridge about what really went down with you and Thomas. And she said nobody should know because it's none of their business. Not you, ma'am, who's always in somebody's business. I'll never get over you. And I know I say it all the time, but I'll never give over her running to Eric, telling Eric, explain to her why he was with Don. Ma'am, grown people. That was none of your business, but you wanted to know. Okay. Anyways, child, y'all know I can't stand Hope. She too. Oh my gosh, it's everyone's fault. I'm such a good person, and I can pass judgment. That's why I can't with Hope. Anyways, child. So she's over there with Thomas, and he's like, he kisses her, and it's not the same. She pulling back a little bit. He was like, what's going on? And she says, he was like, I wanted to go to the birthday party, but with Liam, I didn't want drama and all that. I said, that would be an awkward birthday party. But he said, I didn't want drama and all that, so he didn't come. And she was like, yeah. And so she starts telling him that the birthday party for Beth reminded her of her and Liam, and she talking to Liam reminded her of just how, close they came to not knowing she existed, to not knowing uh, Beth was even alive. And she said, oh, and that brought up me because of what I did. And she said, yeah. And so she tells him, she's pretty much just telling him like it's she's confused now, because on one hand she does like the fact that he wants her and only her, but on the other hand, he did keep Beth from her. And I know people love to be like, well, he didn't do it the whole time. I get it, but he still did it. And she is remembering that part and that heartache about it from that part. And so she's confused and conflicted. And so he ends by saying, okay, well, there's only one thing for me to do, and we're gonna see tomorrow what that one thing is, child. But anyways, I don't know, y'all tell me what you think. That was Bold and Beautiful. I don't know if I'm gonna review it tomorrow. I might review it on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday together, and then review it on Friday, and that'll be it. That's 3 times a week. I don't know. Because honestly, I almost didn't review it today because I was like, that is really everything. But anyways, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be better this week. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little bit better, but it's just Monday and Tuesday, so it could pick up. Y'all know days. Bold likes to pick up towards the end of the week, so we'll see. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys either tomorrow or Thursday for another episode of What Happened on the Soaps Bold and the Beautiful edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.